In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Well, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good
morning.
after morning.
Yes, it is. A blessed evening to you.
Yes, you as well, good sir. We've had an off week, Cash. We've actually been recording the day after our normal scheduled days this week.
And it
so
does
it feels
feel a little
strange,
weird,
doesn't it?
It does feel a little weird because we've gotten into that the same schedule for quite a while.
For a very
now.
long time, yeah, for close to a year and a half.
Same recording schedule for a long time. So if we move it literally by like an hour, I feel like I don't know what dimension I'm in.
Where am I?
I don't know how to walk. I don't know how to do anything.
It's alternative world.
It's tough going.
It is.
But like they say, podcasting is one of the toughest jobs in the world.
It is.
That's what
it takes true talent, someone who's very dedicated to the craft.
True grit.
I'm not trying to toot our own horns, but we fit that criteria to a T.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, we're the best of the best.
Yeah.
It goes brain surgeons.
Right.
Physicists.
Mm-hmm.
Podcasters.
Absolutely.
Top 3 hardest jobs.
Yeah. Joe Rogan? Nothing on us. Nothing. Joe,
No,
what do you got?
because
What do
of
you got?
punk
9
ass,
million?
yeah.
Well, let me tell you something, pal. We're up to 113, so
Yeah. So slow down there, Joe.
Yeah,
We're right on you. We're right on
we're
you.
right on your heels, pal.
Well, we're not here to talk about Joe Rogan.
No, we're
Usually we try to.
We try to bring him up once a month.
As all podcasters must do, they must pay tribute to
the
Mr.
podcast god.
to Rogan. But no, we're here to talk about, this is TV Tuesdays,
Yes.
my guy. And this is
Our
exciting.
second month of doing this.
And I'm just getting more and more excited the more episodes, the deeper I get into this show.
Dude, this show's awesome.
It's amazing. It really
is.
does get into. But of course, we're talking about the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance.
Which is the prequel to the original 1982 Dark Crystal film.
Yeah, we
You
should
can
be
also
calling it
find on
Jim
Netflix.
Henson's Dark Crystal.
Yes,
'cause that's what they
Jim
call it in
Henson's.
this one too. Yeah.
Correct.
But yeah, we're on episode 3.
3, yes. 3 through 5 is what we'll be talking about today, but you want to hear an interesting little fact. Did you know each one of the titles of Season 1 for The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance is a direct quote from the original 1982 film?
Yeah, see, and I haven't been reading the titles of the episodes because
Yeah.
it doesn't even pop up on mine. But what is this episode called?
I have no idea.
Okay, well that's
So, yeah, that,
wish that was real surface level fact. You got me.
It definitely
Wish
was.
there was some more deeper
More
information in there.
deeper,
But as with all good facts, zero evidence to prove it.
yeah, this is definitely fake news.
You were making this up.
I was.
But yeah, that sounds like a great little tidbit of information though.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But yeah, so last we got things weren't looking too good for anyone. They weren't looking too good for the Gelflings.
No,
and
was
things
not.
aren't looking real. Things are looking up for the Skeksis for sure.
Oh, Skeksis are on the up and up.
It's always good to be Skeksis. There's never a real plateau of.
I don't think there's ever a bad day as a Skeksis.
No, well, you're running the Thra. You're running the entire goddamn
Yeah.
world.
As long
And,
as you drain that crystal, you're good.
but-
You're good to go.
They're starting to get a little old now.
They are. They're
They're
starting to
reaching
get a
that-
little testy,
They're
too.
that 1,000 mark.
Yep.
They're right, like
a
anyone would
1,000
be.
thrine.
1,000, and yeah, that's a lot of thrine.
Yeah, it's like we
Just
have
called a year.
No idea what a thrine is. Yeah,
I'm
but
guessing a
thanks.
year.
Yeah, I'm guessing 365 days in this world.
You got to hand one thing that J.R.R. Tolkien did in Lord of the Rings is he just called it years.
He
called
just
it-
made it simple.
He's
He
like,
was
well,
like,
I mean, there's enough lore to this. Let's not make it difficult with the time. But yeah, so the Skeksis, they're getting old, but they found a new method to milk that creamy white milk, that beautiful essence. So now they're starting to do that.
Yep.
Ryan's on the run.
Uh-huh.
They think he murdered Mira. The whole Thraw thinks he... Because they're spreading those fucking Nazi Skeksis. They're spreading that propaganda.
The propaganda, yeah.
Because now in this one, the whole world thinks... And I don't know...
It's not even good propaganda either. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
But the media in this world, it got to everyone very quick.
Word of mouth travels very fast.
There must not be a lot of news stories hitting the papers here because that was quick. Because literally everyone that they run into is asking about Ryan at this point.
Mm-hmm. And one thing we know about Gelfling is they like to gossip.
Oh my god! And sometimes they can be dicks.
They're always dicks.
I know.
If you're not a part of their clan,
I think
the Stonewood clan are a bunch of assholes.
I think Groton are the only ones that are just natural because they're again like one with the earth. They're the hippies of the.
They're super,
hippies. But every other Gelfling clan that we've ran into, they've been horrible people. Horrible racist. To be honest with you,
super racist. They actually kind of deserve to die in a lot of ways. Actually,
honestly, I'm starting to join the Skeksis.
Are not so sympathetic, so
they're really not. But to get real, that is something that I like about this. You know, they're all not lovey puppets.
Right.
They're all kind of real people, you know, and they're all fucking a lot of hate. But again, the darkening, it's creeping in on us.
It is.
But episode 3, how does it start out? It starts out with
Princess Brea went to Princess Brea went to the Order of Lesser Services.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, what are those hats? They're so ridiculous. Why are you wearing a jingly Joker hat?
This is like getting sent to the colonies in
Handmaid's Tale, yeah.
They make you look like a fucking idiot for one. And then talk about the job they have to do.
They got to wash these podlings. They're disgusting. They're jumping in mud, rolling around.
We got a little
eating
deeper
it.
into the podling lore of this world, there's some kind of mental deficiency going on. What is with it?
They're not all there upstairs. No, it's
they're
alarming.
just a little slower, I guess. They're fucking animals, and they can party. We won't get into this episode,
dude.
But
I would love to go to a podling party.
My God, they love dirt and they love alcohol.
They love alcohol,
They're
and they love jumping out of
alcoholics.
windows into the mud pits.
Yeah,
that was another fun thing they love to do in this.
Yeah, so going down to the lesser, it's not good. She fucking hates it. I mean, she's there for like brutal. 5 minutes, and she's like, "I'ma head out." She gives a little SpongeBob meme and takes
and escapes. Yeah, immediately.
Yeah, because again, it sucks. Podlings again, they love dirt for some reason. They just love it, and they're a little slow. They're taking it.
I think saying a little is kind, very kind.
They love the simpler things in life,
yes.
Dirt and alcohol, but.
You should have been a politician. You sure do know how to dance around a word, Cash.
Oh, no. Podcasters and politicians, the lines blur. The lines blur. But, so she pretty much bounces out of there. Mm-hmm. And because really, the vibe is not great. I don't know what that's really teaching anyone.
I don't know either. That you serve
watching
no matter what.
Of podlings. Like, for one, why are we even taking care of these podlings? I mean, like, why are we washing them? Why can't they wash themselves? Don't they have adults?
Yeah, exactly. They're
not adults
forever. They just never grow up.
But it's a horrible dream, and honestly, it's slave labor.
It is,
to be fair, and not cool.
Well, what would be so frustrating about washing podlings too is washing them and then seeing that little podling run off and jump into the mud right again, because that's what they do.
Yeah, because again,
jump right back in the mud.
Not
so
right.
It's like, what's
not
the point?
Right in the head.
No.
I mean, there's not a lot going on upstairs with the podlings.
No.
Makes more sense why they're so easy to control.
Definitely.
Because they're just like, they're used as slaves and I don't know what else for.
Just slaves.
Just slaves.
Yeah, just slaves. I think they're just slave labor.
But and on the other side of this, Agra, she's waking up.
Yes.
And could not be more angry. Because she's feeling, or she can't hear the song.
No, she can't hear the song anymore. Nope.
Yeah. And she's pissed. She's like, well, she wants to know what the fuck is going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she heads over to...
She starts her journey over to the Skeksis castle.
Yeah, she says, I'm going to take this shit straight to the goddamn top.
Mm-hmm.
And, she starts her long journey. Seems like quite a walk
it
for
takes
an
a while.
elderly lady.
I think it takes like 2 episodes before she gets... Or the end of this episode before she even gets there.
No, when she gets there kind of in the middle, because she gets there when they're all fucking bathing.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Yes.
And that's a great scene.
It's a fantastic
Because it shows
scene.
a lot of the Skeksis. A lot, like some ass, I think, at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it's a great scene because they're not all like what I thought they're all gonna be like skin and bone, but they're all that kind of like skinny fat,
disgusting. And then like saggy skin,
yeah,
and saggy bodies.
What do you expect from a 1,000-year-old, probably? But yeah, she busts in there while they're all, and I still don't know if they have like a sex or not. Because they all seem to be bathing in one.
Yeah, and then, I mean, to move to episode 4, there definitely is a sex, because when we get the dinner scene, we notice the strike contrast between male and female of the Skeksis.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know how that works.
I think there is a gender, but we just don't know what half of them are.
Oh, yeah. And it's been 1,000 years, or it's been
1,000 thrine since Agra's been back.
Since he's been back to the Crystal Castle. Yeah, and she's like, they're kind of all scared of her at the start.
At first.
Eventually, and then eventually just tell her, get the fuck out of her. Like,
yeah, the Emperor's like, hey, now you're cast out. You're banned. She's like, you can't do that. They're like, you turned your back on the crystal.
They turn it, and that's what the Skeksis are. They
always
great.
turn it on.
Again, they're great. They're great
people.
politicians. Because we get it even in later episodes when Ryan's in the station, the stagecoach,
with
she immediately turns it.
Yes.
Yeah, they are great politicians because they can turn everything on you, and that's basically what they do when she comes in there.
Yep.
Even though they're the ones that made her do. I mean, they're the ones that gave her all of it. But yeah, they pretty much say it's her fault and push the blame on her that all this shit's happening, and she's not happy about it. But they banish her from the castle. But the physical embodiment of Thra. Oh, because she's the physical embodiment of Thra. That's why she's such a big deal, right?
Right.
But yeah, they banish her. They say, get the fuck out. We don't need you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Get back to your orrery. That's what that thing is called.
That's what it's called, an orrery, yes.
And apparently
Which is what they built for her.
Yeah, and she saw that thing, and she was like, fucking loved it, I guess. Mm-hmm. She's quite the hobbyist astronomer.
Yeah, I'd say if you're gone for any more than 10
yeah, it'd be odd if your dad got a telescope and you didn't see him for the next 10 years. It'd be like you turned your back on us.
Literally, like you left.
I've been in the stars.
I was 8 years old when you left.
Yeah, I'm a grown man now. And
I had to get a job. I had to be the provider of the family while you're looking into your telescope, you bastard.
But he just keeps yelling, I was in the stars, exploring the stars. Because that's what Agra keeps telling us. Like, what is that doing it for us, Agra?
Yeah, it's doing nothing. You're selfish.
We get it. You know a lot of you can name the planets, but it's not helping us at this point. And shit really did fall apart when she turned her back, which I don't know what she was expecting.
No.
These little podlings and gelflings, half of them are racist, half of them are alcoholics. The planet's going to go to shit if you leave.
Yes.
And that's what happens. But what happens after she is turned away from the castle?
Well, we go back a little bit to like Deet and Hupp, and they find the Stonewood clan.
Oh, we got to talk about that.
Yes.
Because Hupp is quickly becoming my favorite character.
He's pretty awesome. Yeah, he's pretty cool. And pretty tough guy with a spoon.
Oh, and he's kind of a psycho.
Oh, for sure.
The scene because they go to the Stonewood clan. Again, the clan, all assholes.
And racists.
Racist.
Not a fan of Grottons.
It almost seems like she's in the deep south. Like, is the Stonewood in, like, Tennessee? I don't understand.
Well, the guard was literally like, the only reason you can't see our Al Madra is because you're a Groton.
Yeah.
You have to be one of us.
He literally said, he was like, we don't like your kind around here. He essentially said like this. But, yeah, so they get into a big fight. And one of the Stonewood, it's not even a guard. He's just like a farmer. Starts like, getting handsy with Brea.
No, with Deet.
With Deet, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, but the part when Hupp thinks Deet is in trouble and he goes slow motion and he drops the cup and you just see him go full fucking psycho. It was hilarious.
It was awesome.
And then he just he tackles him. And Deet would have made a great fucking linebacker had he not wanted to be a paladin.
Oh, absolutely. Hupp would have been awesome at that.
Oh, Hupp, yeah.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, Hupp goes fucking psycho mode. And he is, someone eventually has to restrain him because he's going to kill someone.
Mm-hmm. And that's when the Stonewood soldiers come in and they throw him in the jail cell, basically.
Yeah. And Deet doesn't like that.
No, because, they didn't even initially start the fight. It was the people who started the fight. And then Hupp was just protecting Deet's honor.
Oh,
That's all it was.
And as soon as fucking Hupp sees that Deet's in trouble, something snaps in him. Mm-hmm. But, they throw him in the fucking brig. They throw him in the hole, I guess. And, And Deet's not happy about that.
No,
Of
he's
course,
not.
they're fucking traveling partners, and Deet's saying she swears to get him out, justice.
Yep.
And I love when Deet's like being dragged away. He yells like "Podling justice!" Like it's so funny. Like he's being like
Just on the nose.
I know. But
After and then after this scene, we see Tavra runs in. We go back to Princess Brea, and she's running away from the Order of Lesser Services. She's in the woods, and her sister Tavra is riding one of the gosh darn it, what are they called?
Are they called herdlings?
No, Landstriders.
Landstriders. Yeah,
And she's riding one of the Landstriders, and she notices Brea, and Brea thinks she was sent there to capture her, to talk to her, but in reality, all Madra sent her on a dangerous
and what you're
mission.
gonna quickly learn is Tavra is a real fucking buzzkill. She never has good news.
Never.
I mean, because Tavra was just recently told that she was gonna become the Almada, right?
No. Celadon was going to be.
Celadon, yeah.
But
'cause
Tavra told Celadon that she was going to be the next Almadra.
right,
But Tavra's the one that's actually close to Brea.
That's right. And Tavra tells, and because Tavra's the middle one, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Tavra tells Brea that she's not there to break her out. It's kind of a buzzkill. And
But she says the sisterhood can never be broken, the bond. And it was a really sweet moment between the two puppets.
It was.
They gave a nice sweet hug.
It was, but Brea basically says, I'm still getting the fuck out of here. I'm not turning back. And Brea keeps heading out.
Yep.
She goes, and she eventually goes back to the goddamn castle. Who knows? I
does.
don't know what the distance these fucking little gelflings are traveling.
Well, but she's got wings and she's flying around, isn't
That's
she?
true, and man, what a difference this story would make if everyone had fucking wings. It's a real.
The way everyone could get.
The world is a
everywhere
lot
fast.
more dangerous. I mean, I don't want to take the tough stance, but in this world, if you're a man, the world is about 10 times more dangerous.
It's and
'Cause
harder.
90% of things
Traveling
can
takes a
murder
lot
you
to-
because you're a little tiny elf. It's a lot better if you can fly. I mean, half of the story would be cut in half if the males, if Ryan could just fly.
Just fly away. He's like, I fly forever. He just goes.
No one would be able to
no
hunt
one's ever
him.
heard of.
Yeah.
No,
But not the case.
definitely not.
Not the case. Only she can fly. Yeah. So I guess it probably took her 5 minutes.
Yeah.
She's just like, all right. And there's no like real. There's no one's really keeping her at the lesser services.
I know.
Why is
no
everyone just
guards or
heading
anything.
out? I know.
And it just escape. Well, she flies back to the castle, and she flies back to the castle to find the brightest diamond that her mother has.
Yes.
The Almadra has.
Yeah.
Because we remember in episode 2, she went to the All-Seer. She obviously switched the cups around on him, but
Yeah.
they said to bring the brightest jewel so you can ask the questions that you need answers to.
Yeah.
So that's why she flew
broke
back.
into her room and stole the jewel, right?
Yep. The hanging one.
Yeah. And because she needs it to unlock something or unlock the secrets or whatever. We don't get into that in this episode. No. But she breaks in. She's quite the fucking criminal, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would say so. And right after this, too, we get this scene, which I love these two together. It's so much fun. Chamberlain visits Skektek.
Oh yeah.
And this is the first time that we see Skektek, which is a scientist.
Yep.
We see the Skektek's eye.
He's got a new
is the
robot,
robot
eye.
eye.
It's a cool eye. Mm-hmm. And Chamberlain immediately kind of flips it to where they're like, "We're good now."
Yeah, we're good now. We're friends. I just want what's best for Skeksis.
Yeah. Again, Simon Pegg.
Fantastic.
Beautiful
It's fantastic
job.
work,
Beautiful
man.
job.
Chamberlain is one of my favorites.
Oh, absolutely. Because
I love
she or
Skektek
he's the
and-
most fucking conniving, and she's been recently, or she hasn't been recently. She hasn't been kicked out yet. They haven't
Not yet, no.
Yeah, she's still in power, but still some bad blood between her and Skektek with the whole eye thing.
You know, could be problematic. I don't know if I would be too thrilled with the person who took my eyeball out.
Yeah,
You know.
I could see it. I mean, I could see being angry at that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but what do they talk about, Chamberlain and Skektek in there? Do they discuss anything of importance? Or-
Not really of importance, more so that they're on the same team now and kind of the forgiveness. And then Chamberlain offers the two creatures as like a payment with their mouths sewn
I forgot
together.
we didn't talk about that. Yeah, we had that was weird. I wish I remember the name of those things, but that was fucking, and that was like a
and it was never brought back up again.
And that was like a race that were wiped out completely.
Entirely
Mary's,
from the Skeksis.
Yeah, so that's like we might get a prequel where it shows those poor bastards.
Thriving even before this.
It's gonna get pretty depressing because we're just gonna see a lot of loss because we already know what's gonna happen. We know that they've been
two around, and they're we know their ultimate demise,
and we know what the Gelfling demise is gonna be as well.
Brutal.
So we're just gonna be taking a lot of hits.
Everyone except the Skeksis.
I know, but yeah. So yeah, I forgot she does, and it is kind of scary, and it's weird that the little creatures that she gives him as like pets, I guess, have their mouths sewn. So for good.
This show's dark as hell for being a puppeteering show.
Oh, absolutely,
or a puppet show. This show is dark. I like it though.
We forgot to mention that Deet and Ryan run into each other. Yeah, in Stonewood.
Yeah.
Real quick, but they don't really know each other.
It's hilarious. They don't know each other, and Deet's waiting in line to talk to the Almadra.
Yeah.
And then Ryan just walks right through.
I know.
Without even, because he's part of Stonewood. He's part of the clan. His father's high up in the rankings, but he just walks by, and Deet's having a fit about it.
Oh, I would be too. She's been standing in line all goddamn day.
Yeah, it's like what is this, the fast pass line at
Again,
Disneyland? What's
racist.
going on here? Very racist.
You're not the
Stonewood,
so
man on the totem pole.
Yeah, and another thing, 90% of the world of Thoth when Grottons are dead.
Yes,
that they're not even.
I know, everyone's surprised. It's like the running butt of the joke in the show. It's like, we thought the Grottons were dead.
Yeah, but Ryan shows up to Stonewood, and his dad is there.
Yeah, surprising. Surprising to Rianne, not to us.
No,
but his father's there, and they talk, but they inevitably try to corner Rianne, and Rianne, he's thinking on his feet, no pun intended, and he escapes.
Oh, he's got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he dips out of there, and he's getting pretty good at escaping at this point. But he takes off.
And then we get the bathing scene we talked about, but then right after that, as Agra's walking out, she scares the two Gelfling soldiers and says, "I will kill you with my 8.5 fingers," kind of thing. She gets them to shoo off, and then she goes and talks to the Dark Crystal.
I know, real easy, and she
is yelling the whole time.
She wasn't even sure. I don't think she was sure where the crystal was because remember she walks past it. And
she walked back.
Man, this is
6
easier than I
steps.
thought because the whole thing she wanted to see the crystal, and the character said no. You're not allowed to see it anymore. You're banished.
And then they keep it dead center in the castle. It's like, okay, just walk. She could have literally just walked in. Saw
it's like the
crystal
living room.
left.
I know. It's like past. It's like past the door. Like you have to get out.
Yeah. It's like the main TV in a living room. Everyone's gonna see it.
Yeah, and she's walking back. She's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And she just turns around. And she's like, "Oh, this is easier than I thought." And then she gets she views the crystal and she sees a lot, and it kind of shows her that it was her fault. Again, heavy,
very heavy
for Agra for sure. She's got to carry this weight.
She feels responsible for everything, for everyone, for the darkening happening in Thra.
And it is her fault.
It's definitely her fault.
The Skeksis, I don't think would have ever taken real power unless they got rid of her. And of course, they knew that also. That's why they made her go to sleep. But yeah, she finally kind of touches the crystal, and it shows her what's happening. The crystal is dying, and the darkening is coming and whatnot. And then she just heads out of there.
Yep.
Right. She's got to figure out, or she's got to hear the song first.
Right.
That's her main goal. But
and then Deet and Rianne run into each other briefly after that again in the forest. Remember, he's making the fire.
Yeah.
And then she stops and is like, "Oh, let me help you," kind of thing. And then the last scene of this specific episode, for episode 3, Princess Brea brings Brightest Diamond and shows it and grabs the diamond, obviously, but brings it to them where it's revealed. It comes out as like a little moth and it starts to fly away because she asks, "I want to know the answers to my questions."
I forgot, and they're like the diamonds are like
eggs.
They're like cocoons.
Yeah, cocoons. Yeah,
cocoons. Yeah, not eggs.
Just a hatchling of dinosaur emerges.
But yeah, they are like cocoons, and but before that, when Deet and Ryan met in the forest, that's when Deet kind of got the courage because they kind of had a bond together. That's when she got the courage because I guess she was just gonna leave Hup.
Yeah, adios, Hup. Been good knowing you. You're probably gonna die.
Thanks for backing me up and taking that L for me, but I gotta head out for this one.
I got shit to do.
I cannot be doing jail time. I cannot go back. But yeah, that is how episode 3 ends.
Yep. And now we're into episode 4.
That's how episode 4 begins.
And episode 4 actually starts with.
I'm going to tell you right now, episode 4 is probably the best episode.
So far.
So far.
Because again,
for
you and I
sure,
are
there's
literally
a lot.
watching this show and doing the podcast. We have to keep telling guests because last time we watched the whole thing, but this time we're stopping.
Yeah.
So we're watching
you
every
guys
episode.
can watch with us if you haven't watched it already.
Exactly.
But yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, this one's going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, it definitely will be.
Because this one was fucking
It was really
awesome.
good.
It was really good.
And we got introduced to new characters in episode 4 that it's like, whoa.
Yeah, and
It's
we got
really
some real
escalation.
action. At this point, I was wondering, I'm like, how are they really going to do with these puppets? How is it? But man, they did it, and it looked fucking
looked awesome.
We get it right off the bat with Deet rescuing Hup.
Yeah.
You know, fucking awesome. At first, I thought she got like powers. I started watching. I'm like, man, is she magic or something? Because she's glowing. She's breaks
glowing
it,
bright blue.
and she's yelling some crazy slurs or something, and that and she's just bouncing around everywhere,
Yeah,
really
flying
freaking out the
everywhere,
guards.
freaking the hell out of them.
She looks like a fucking ghost or something.
She does.
But yeah, they freak out. They run out, and Hup's also scared. But she, because he doesn't know it's Deet. But
Yeah.
Deet eventually breaks her out. And I like before that, Hup was singing a song. He showed us.
In the
Yeah,
the
it was-
Gelfling were like, shut up.
Yeah,
And then he's like-
and he starts yelling.
He looks up.
Again.
He's like, fuck them.
Hup
Starts
isn't
singing.
scared of anyone.
He does not care.
Does not
he
care.
is
He's-
ready to die.
Yeah.
He's ready.
He's
to
got
die.
a death wish.
He does.
The man is
he
not
wants
sane.
to be a
He's not right.
paladin,
Yeah.
and he's a podling.
But he's
That's-
willing to just tackle. I mean, you saw him tackle the spitter.
Mm-hmm.
You saw him tackle only has a spoon as his choice of weapon.
and somehow still manages to hold his own.
Oh, absolutely.
Quite impressive.
It's bravery.
It is.
It's hard.
at its finest.
You got to give it to him. But yeah. So Hup is rescued. Thank God, because my favorite character. I mean,
And then we get to Brea, and she's underneath. Remember, because this is where we end. The end of episode 3 is where she goes down to the secret chamber underneath the throne
the
room
throne. Yeah.
of Almadra. And now she's under there, and now what she's trying to do is figure out the order of importance
Because she has a
for
riddle.
the people of Throth.
She's got a little
Yeah.
riddle she's got to figure out. Yeah, and she goes down there, and it's some secret like room. And it's all
It's got the
stones.
7 clans.
7 clans all around in a circle, and then it's got a bunch of loose stones on
Mm-hmm.
the ground. And and she's got to connect the crystal to each one in a certain order is what she thinks.
Yep.
That's what she's going for. But
And
yeah,
she's having a hell of a time trying to figure it out too.
she really is. And I think she's been down there for hours at some point.
I would think so.
She's
People
like,
are getting worried. They're asking where she's at. Oh no, never mind. No, they're not.
no one gives a fuck about her for one. They want her dead. I mean,
She was
her
already in the
entire-
lesser services. Yeah,
Her
no one
family
cares.
forgot
already
it.
thought
They
she got
sold her
eaten.
into slavery. This
Spitter got
again,
her.
Gelfling's brutal.
Yes.
Just a brutal race of puppets.
Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck.
And then we get the next
Oh,
scene.
thank God.
and-
It's so
and-
good.
This is so funny, Cash, because you and I were talking about this during it might have been off air actually, but we were talking about the dining scene in the
Yeah.
original 1982 film, and how it looked good for the time.
Oh yeah,
For
absolutely.
the time, it was incredible, but there were still things that weren't quite right.
Yeah.
You know, with the episode 2 when the Chamberlain eats the lock snake, it looked really good.
Yeah.
And then now we're in episode 4, and we finally get a dining room scene with all the Skeksis.
I know, and it
man,
looks
does
amazing.
this look awesome.
And it's perfect because everything about the Skeksis are practical effects, except for the tongue is CGI.
yes.
So the tongue is always, but it looks amazing, and that's
And the tongues look real, though. That's the
Oh,
most
absolutely,
important
yeah.
thing. It doesn't look CGI.
But it's because it's perfect because even when they're talking, the tongue is moving to match what words your tongue would be moving.
Yep.
So it's really, and that's the kind of CGI that I like. It's just a very small thing, but it adds to the overall character, you know.
Totally.
But yeah, the tongues and the eating was amazing. I love any dining scene with the Skeksis. They're just going at it. My God.
And it wasn't just the original where they're just kind of like smashing food in their mouths.
yeah, and they're shaking
it
it
was
out.
it was literally them eating the food, and it looked good.
Oh, it looked amazing. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they're pigs. And it's so funny
I
because
know.
I always feel like the Skeksis represent like gluttony, greed, just the worst things in humanity.
Oh, they did,
And like
yeah.
kind of this like, you know what I mean? This whatever word I'm trying to look for in comparison to like our world to their world. But I feel like that's what like the Skeksis represent. It's just glutton and just
Oh, yeah.
greed.
In my mind, they're literally just greedy politicians.
Yeah.
You know, they're milking the crystal for everything and
everything
not
it's
giving
worth.
anything back. It's literally what politicians do in our world.
Yeah.
You know, they take and don't give anything back. Yeah, I really do think
they pretend
Jim
to be
Henson
for
had
the
that in
people
mind
kind of
when he was,
thing.
because they're very, very similar. I mean, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Everything about him is they do everything to excess. You know, everything they wear is lavish.
Mm-hmm.
It's big thrones and everything, and the way they decorate and everything they eat. And they eat. But what I love is how unique each item of food is. It's all some kind of moving creature or animal. Sometimes there's like pies, like eels and stuff in them.
Oh, dude! And what about that one scene when the collector lady?
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring it up.
Snot and the snot's falling into her noodle thing.
Yeah, her
noodle
spaghetti,
bowl.
yeah.
Her spaghetti, and she just takes the whole hand with the snot and everything and just eats it. And I'm like, ugh.
Well, it's a special occasion.
It is.
Someone's birthday.
Yeah,
And it's
we
not
gotta celebrate.
It's not every day you turn 1,001. I guess.
I
You think
guess.
you'd stop celebrating birthdays at this point?
I quit
What are you celebrating?
birthdays after 21.
Why are you celebrating birthdays if you're living forever?
Yes.
But yeah, so but something goes down.
Yes,
we didn't
this
just bring
is
the scene
this is
just
actually
because
a
they're
really
fucked
big
by that.
scene too, because the Chamberlain is confronted by the general.
The general don't take no shit.
No,
One,
he does not.
only knows war. That's the only thing he wants. He's
Which
not
is
thinking.
stereotypical of any general. They definitely went down the stereotypical route, but I like that because it works for the
Yeah.
show. But yeah, the general's
But
definitely
again,
bullheaded.
that's like what
war now kind of
what
thing.
the Skeksis are like. If each one is the worst of anything. So if he's a general, he's the worst,
worst
general.
general.
He's like the worst kind of general. Where the worst kind of general only ever wants to go to war or anything.
He doesn't
like that.
think of any other scenario
Yeah,
except,
and-
we're going to war.
And Skektek is a scientist, but he's a mad scientist. You know, he's the worst kind of
Well,
scientist.
then the emperor's an emperor, but he's also will do anything to stay alive and keep his power. So
yeah, and the
he's
Chamberlain's
the worst
a
of that.
council, but he's only ever counseling
for
to do
himself.
horrible things. Yeah, to only motivate, to only bring him up more in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we see that once the general throws down. Mm-hmm. And I like how they don't back down immediately. The Chamberlain gets up, you know.
Oh, he gets up in his face. He's sizing him up.
But the Chamberlain is the Emperor's number 2, and he general says that he's like, you only care. Or you're only brave because you're the number 2 and the Emperor, no one can touch you. While they're fighting, the Emperor, he's got a hangnail he's picking, and it's a doozy of a hangnail.
It definitely is. There's some goo coming out of his finger.
Some pus coming out, and he tries to take that nail off, and it takes off half his goddamn finger. And
Not a
it's
good thing.
Gushing, disgusting, green fucking pus and ooze.
And we should go back to a previous episode, which was 2, where the general and Chamberlain were both arguing, and the emperor took the side of Chamberlain and said, yes, we must be diplomatic. 2 things can make one. We have Rienne's father go and capture him instead of us capturing him, because who knows better than a father. But in this scenario...
Well, that was before body parts started falling off.
And then
And
we
now
see the
he's thinking this is a
selfishness
little more
of the
real.
emperor.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you
And they
see
say
that meeting.
enough with the Chamberlain's words. Now we need action, and that's where the
Exactly, yeah.
general was coming from.
And now General, first he kind of roughs up the Chamberlain, steps on her hand, crushes it.
Yep.
And then the Emperor stands up and says, the General is right, now's the time to do it. And he's willing to kill all the Gelflings. You
Yes.
see, he's full on board of this now. And now the General is also,
Second in command now.
he's the new Chamberlain too. He's got 2 titles.
He does.
Big move up.
A huge move up.
And the
in
Chamberlain now does nothing, I guess. She is, she has
kind
no
of cast
job.
out in a way. Yeah.
Well, not. I mean, they don't. She's
out,
just
but
like she's
just
still
nothing.
invited to the party, but she has no job.
I gotta know if the Chamberlain's a girl because I feel like it's a weird.
I keep calling her because it just makes sense in my head for some reason. I guess the way that she talks, it's. I mean, we know it's played by Simon Pegg, but that doesn't mean it could be male or female.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it's not super important.
No, but I keep calling her, so it would make more sense because I'm sure someone listening is going fucking nuts. if that's
about
wrong.
it. Yeah, if it's wrong.
But And so that happens. Xerxes are all kind of it's getting hectic right now. They're seeing the end is nigh. And Agra, she's on her way back.
She's still making her journey.
It's a long journey. She didn't get wings, that's for damn sure.
No.
She's old as hell too, but it's taken her a while. She's a big lady though.
She's a very big lady.
Broad lady.
It
She's
takes
tall
a
as
lot
fuck
to move
too.
that body
She's
around.
Huge, yeah. But out of nowhere, an arrow gets shot at her, and she's just like it's like she got arrows getting shot at her every day. She's like, huh?
She just looks at it, and it was like right next to the tree, and she's like, oh, okay.
And
It must
then
be
there's
the archer,
and
is
there's
all
like
she said.
15 arrows
Yeah.
flying at her. And man, does this guy got a shot. Unless he's trying to hit her.
This-
Maybe he's
yeah.
got the worst shot of all
I gotta
time.
say, this mystic knows how to shoot a bow.
And he's firing those things quick. Because they
Very
were
fast.
But he has 3 arms.
He does, which always helps.
And this is again, this adds to why this episode was so good. But we get the first mystic,
We do in this
and I
episode.
love those guys, man.
They're great.
They're just up there smoking weed, just living with the trees,
hanging out, shooting arrows as
got
a
3
hobby
arms
at this point.
Yeah, it's cool.
Life
as
is
shit.
good.
They know
Life
the
is good.
future. They know the
do.
past. They know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
They know it's chill. It's super fucking chill. Agra does not feel this chillness. She's freaking out. She
No.
goes up to the tree,
Uh,
whatever the tree's called. That what's her name? That Deet talked to in the first one. But
Right.
yeah, she goes up that one, and then she meets Archer, who is one of the mystics, and he knows everything.
yeah. And she keeps asking him why she can't hear Thra sing. She cannot hear the song of
And
Thra.
he says, because you turn your back on the. And I like this scene because every time she tries to like defend
Make an
herself,
excuse?
make
Yeah.
an excuse, he just shuts that shit down.
That's what mystics
Quick.
are good for, though. Because they're
Oh,
the
yeah,
good
absolutely.
side. So
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
always call you out on your
Oh, it's Yoda.
hypocrisy and bullshit.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Yoda for sure. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And then he basically just says, "Yeah, you turn your back, so now you can't hear." And she's like, "Well, if I can't hear, then what?" But then he's like, "Oh, but I can hear." He's like, "Don't you worry, bitch. I still got it."
I got you.
But yeah, and he eventually gives her he kind of helps her in a brutal way. He shoots an arrow up in the sky. It's a cool scene. I like the
is.
slogan and the third arm coming out of nowhere and shooting it straight up and it just lands.
And then by then he's gone.
Oh, he pulled a Batman.
Yeah, he did.
That guy disappeared.
That's like the mystic version of Batman.
He is gone. He's like he's 1,000 years old and he's just fucking disappeared. Quick.
Oh, yeah.
Quick, man. I wonder if he went up the tree.
And then after this whole instance with Agra and the Mystics, we see Skektek is visited by the Emperor, who asks him how many Gelflings he would need to have immortality.
I like this scene because Skektek, he's like, he even thinks the Emperor. Skektek, he's just completely insane.
Oh, totally.
Even
yeah. Mad
him stepping
scientist.
back, and he's like, "Whoa, even I got to draw
he's
the
like-
line somewhere."
He's
Yeah,
like, hey, we can't kill them all. We got to have moderation.
exactly, because it drains the crystal still. But and I mean, these are also kind of your slaves. You know, if you kill them all, there's no who are you rolling still.
Right.
And but the Emperor, he's one finger down. He says, "Let's fucking do this." How
He's
many
like,
do
"I'm running
I
out of
need?
time."
He's like, and I like the scene's good because he's crushing the Skektek's little pet or whatever.
And before the Emperor came in, Skektek was talking to all the creatures, saying that the Skeksis don't appreciate the scientist. He goes, but I know who my real friends are.
Yeah.
He goes, it's all of you guys, and they're all in cages and stuff. And then the Emperor comes in. It's kind of like a symbolism, like representation of what the Emperor does. And he takes the creature and he crushes it as he asks him, how many Gelflings will it take? And inevitably, Skektek answers, 50.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the shitty thing of, and also the Emperor knowing what Skektek like loves.
Exactly.
So he goes in there and immediately starts. And but damn, Skektek's right. Guy deserves a raise.
He absolutely
Where would they
does.
be without this guy? I think he's invented everything.
Well, and he is just so underappreciated.
I
mean,
know.
this guy is actually this Skeksis is a really smart individual.
He's building mechanical inventions that no one has.
And he's able to make repairs in a day or two.
He made a robot eye. We don't even have that technology yet.
No, and he did that in what, 2 hours? Because he had that eye immediately afterwards. I mean, this guy
Yeah.
knows what he's doing. He's
I
a
know, and
smart
the
scientist.
one guy that you don't want to take your scientist's eye of all the
Out of
people.
all the things, yeah, take his tongue if anything. You know,
His eye. I mean, yeah, he's only got one more left.
It's a problem.
Maybe they knew though he can just bounce back, and make a new one. This guy's pretty smart.
Maybe it's like that Star Wars thing where you cut off their arm and it's like, oh, okay, I got a robotic arm.
yeah,
We're good.
This one's even kind of better.
It is. Yeah, actually.
It's an upgrade, to be honest with you. But yeah, and he eventually gives them a number, 50. 50 gelflings to live for eternity.
Yes.
That's a lot of gelflings.
Immortality.
That's a lot of juice.
It is a lot of essence.
That is
a lot of essence.
That's I wonder if he's gonna like bathe in it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe he'll just keep like a gallon of it in his fridge, like milk, and
Maybe
then
a
just
Camel
whatever
pack.
he needs strong,
Just
like
load it
protein,
on
he
there, yeah.
just drinks out of the gallon. I don't know, something. Yeah, camel pack when he's hiking up in the mountains. Man, sure do love this essence.
You gotta give that sense. Well, you know
Like
they're
good
gonna be feeling
gelfling
good
essence.
after all that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
It
that's
gives
some
you
good
that
shit.
high.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
So while this is going on, though, Chamberlain needs the come up. I mean, she
does.
lost the job.
Yep.
He's got
Bitter
nothing.
about it.
Very bitter. Hand crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Made a fool in front of everyone. Made you look like an idiot big time.
Looks soft and weak.
Oh, yeah, and everyone was laughing at you.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to forget that either.
Never.
It's hilarious.
It is.
Best birthday party of all time.
It
Are you
really
kidding
was.
me?
Yeah. Everyone seemed to be having a ball except Chamberlain.
Yeah, but she's doing her own thing.
Yeah, and what happens here?
Oh my god, something very cool. She gets on the fucking Lord of the Rings horn, blows the big horn, and as soon as everyone hears it, they're shitting themselves.
Everyone's shaking in their boots,
And this-
man. They're freaking out.
This is so awesome, and this is just a big surprise to me. Another Skeksis that's not part of the group.
Yeah. Kind of the outcast, the outsider.
Yeah,
That
she
only comes when it's summoned.
Yeah, she calls the hunter.
The hunter. And then you see everyone in the dining room still, because they're still eating.
Well, yeah,
These
some of
people
them are
never quit
passed
eating.
out. It's like
Yeah, some of them-
Thanksgiving. Some of them are passed out. Some of them got their pants
It's
off.
Thanksgiving every day in that castle for them.
But as soon as they hear him, and yeah, it's super cool because it immediately builds his character up, and they're like, because everyone's pretty much saying, don't ever call the hunter
No,
because he always.
we haven't heard it in
Yeah.
1,000 thrives.
Because no matter what, he has to have a kill, no matter what. So if he doesn't get the kill that you want him to kill, he's gonna kill you.
Exactly.
But yeah, apparently this hunter guy, some Skeksis that apparently when they landed on Earth, he was like, again, it builds so much lore to the world and everything. But when he landed, he said, the only thing that's important right now is the hunt. So that's what he's all
That's the
about.
only
He
thing
doesn't
he
care
cares
about
about.
living forever or
No.
whatever. But yeah, and he introduced him, and he's fucking awesome.
Uh-huh.
He can move too. This guy.
Yeah. And
Quick.
very, very fast. He is the elite of the lead in hunters. He's like the predator of the hunters for
Yeah.
Skeksis.
Oh, he's fucking
know?
awesome, and he's got all kinds of swords and stuff. He's got
got a cool skull mask.
It's
Yeah,
fucking
it's
awesome.
awesome.
And he's not as slow as the other Skeksis because they're all just slow and lazy at this point. They're just
Not this
fucking-
one. He's fast as
He's
shit.
moving around. He's
Yeah,
dipping.
he's agile.
Everything's
He's been-
a quick jog or or a fast walk. Maybe
He's
you could
been
even
doing
say.
those spark workouts in the forest. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Those agility drills back and
He
forth.
did. He's been hitting the forest hard. A little
Yes.
footloose action, getting tough out there, putting the ear pods in. Yeah,
Going
he's
at
quick. He's quick. And he's not to fuck around with.
No, he's not. And
'Cause if this-
Chamberlain
yeah.
Chamberlain meets him in the Dark Crystal room. And we get a sense of who the hunter is because he's very upset. He goes, "All I want is the hunt," because the Chamberlain's trying to convince him to
Well,
go
he didn't
after
want to be
Rianne.
summoned. Yeah,
No,
he didn't even want to be there.
summoned. No. And Chamberlain has to convince him to go capture Rianne.
Yeah.
Yeah. so-
But he says it's a fucking insult to even ask me to go capture because they're gelflings. One, they're like a third the size. I mean, you could crush them. If you're Skeksis, crush them in your hand. They're very tiny. But yeah, and he says this is a fucking insult. He's like,
And then-
how dare you summon me for this? And then she, of course, little spin
twist
trip.
it around as
She said this.
Chamberlain
She said he
always
already
does.
bested me and Skektek, and he escaped the fucking palace. No one escapes the Crystal Palace. And
If
then he's
anything,
like,
it would be an honor,
oh yeah,
a trophy.
now you got now he's listening. All right,
He is
you
listening.
got my
He loves
attention.
that trophy word.
And he says, "All right, I'll fucking do it."
I'll
He's
cut
like,
that tongue from the Gelfling.
exactly from the traitor.
Yeah, from the traitor,
Yeah,
yes.
but
And I
he-
like how, too, because we get a sense of who the hunter is, to go back just a little bit, because he scolds the Chamberlain and goes, well, all you seek after is a chair.
Yeah.
I seek after the hunt.
He said, "There's only the hunt."
the hunt. Yes.
I like it, man.
I like it.
always like a crazy hunter character in any kind of story.
Oh, absolutely. You
Jurassic
have to have
Park, anything. It's always some
Even Rambo.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
always some crazy guy who just loves to hunt. I mean, a murderer.
Gotta
sure.
respect it.
But yeah, exactly. I love, and that kind of goes back to our thing where it's like the Skeksis are always the worst of everything. So he's a hunter. He's the worst kind of hunter.
He's
Whereas
the guy
only taking
who shoots a deer without a deer tag.
Yeah,
And then
exactly.
leaves it in the woods to rot.
And doesn't use any part of the deer. He's only there for the antlers, the trophies. He's Predator. Exactly. He goes back to Predator. Predator was only there for the skulls and the spines.
Yeah. He's the asshole that shoots the elephant in Africa and just
Takes the tusks.
saws
Yeah.
off the tusks.
If I'm shooting an elephant, I'm eating that bad boy.
If
got
I'm
it.
shooting an elephant, I'm shooting myself.
I would never
because
shoot
I
an
would
elephant,
never
of
shoot
course,
an
'cause
elephant.
they're the best
They're
creatures.
beautiful
ever.
creatures.
But
I
you
love
got
elephants.
But if I had to take one down, I'm not letting her go to waste.
That's true.
You gotta. Has anyone
You're
ever?
feeding the village for probably the next 6 months, my guy.
That is.
You gotta get some
as
freezers
I am,
and
who-
electricity.
as respectful. That's as respectful as you can get to an animal.
You have to, every
part
single
of
part of it, yeah.
So I'm grinding down that ivory. I'm using all kinds of.
You get deer antler, for lifting and stuff.
Yeah, it's a natural steroid. It's an aphrodisiac. Get you going. But
And then we get the next scene. We see Gurjin, and Gurjin's not doing too good at this point. Cash. He's kind of tied up.
Everyone kind of just forgot about Gurjin.
Yeah, unfortunately, kind of people were just like, yeah, Gurjin.
Rand's like, I'm safe. I don't even remember. Gurjin who?
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah, I know. When Naya, his sister,
Yeah.
showed up, he was kind of like, "Oh, Gurjin." He was like, oh, I remember that guy.
Gurjin.
Yeah,
I thought you
Gurjin.
said
Yeah.
Lurgan. I misheard you. Yeah, he's dead.
He's been dead a while. I hate to break the news to
But
you.
no, he's just sitting cool, getting tortured, and
I
now
gotta say, this guy getting tortured. What a cool, calm, and collected Gelfling. This
he
dude
really
is tough
is.
as nails.
Oh my god,
gives
he's like
zero
SEAL
shit.
Team 6
He
of
is.
Gelflings.
He's like, interrogation. This is
Remember that? Yeah, and now he's even got a worse interrogator. The Chamberlain was bad. I'm sure
now-
the Chamberlain wasn't
oh
bad, but
God,
now they
now he's got
have
the
the
general.
general who doesn't have the lightest touch for sure.
He's a psychopath.
But
a true blue psychopath.
He straps him up to the new and improved
Dark Crystal, like,
Milker.
yeah, Milker is a good word for it.
Remember, they keep jabbing him in the goddamn back with the stabbing him multiple times. Yeah, but he straps him in and he takes some of his life force away, and because the general. But again, and then when the general asks, he just like spits in his face. Cool ass guy.
Yeah,
Super cool.
bold move. Bold move.
For sure,
Cotton.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But eventually the emperor comes in and tells him to stop. Right, tells him that this isn't happening or it's not working or whatnot, and they still need
they
Gurjin.
need Gurjin still. Yeah,
Because Gurjin's the one that's telling everyone that that Rian killed Mara. He's the only one that saw, I guess, really. So yeah, so they need him still. He's still important for their like political schemes and whatnot. So you can't just kill him, General. Take it easy, okay?
you can't just kill everything.
There would be nothing left.
Kill
does
all
he?
Gelfling.
He doesn't understand. But
And then we go to Princess Brea again, and she finds out the riddle finally.
it's not a riddle.
It actually turns out not to be a riddle.
Yeah, it's literally just. I mean, the
All
most
Gelfling are
simple-
the same.
Yeah.
It would have been a real easy.
If you weren't just a
lay the rock
staunch
down.
racist, you would immediately got it. You
'Cause she
immediately
was trying to figure it out the whole show. She's like,
She's
yeah,
like, well,
the
these ones are
Grons
the
definitely
best.
the lowest.
Yeah, Grons are
These
shit.
ones suck.
Those guys
They
are
smell
assholes.
like
Yeah.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah, if you weren't a horrible, horrible racist, that would have been the first thing that came to your mind. That would have
oh,
been
yeah,
literally
we're all
like me
equal.
going into a room and being like, well, white people, they got to be number one. Like, no, they're all got to be equal. Yeah, she doesn't know that. But again, she's been raised as
As a
they're-
racist, so
And they're like the number one Gelfling clan.
They are.
Whatever I can't remember what their group is called, but they're the number ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess it gets lower and lower from there. But yeah, she finally, eventually she doesn't even figure out. She kind of just tosses the crystal on the ground and is like, fuck this, I'm out of here. Gives up.
This riddle sucks. I'll never figure it out.
But yeah.
Because you know she had too much pride to ever put her
Exactly.
clan
She's like,
2, 3,
no
4,
way
5,
we're all
6, or
equal.
7.
No way that we're equal. No,
This is bullshit.
I've been
actually.
around. We
Yeah.
ain't equal.
Fuck that. I actually like the Skeksis now. I actually have no more questions.
She tosses
You
that thing
answered all
behind
of
her, and it hits the ground, and to her, not even to her, I mean, on purpose. She, again, a mistake. But the door locks, and shit starts moving around.
Yeah. And it's, huh?
Yeah, and then she's like, yeah, I did it. It's super fun.
Like pats herself on the back. She's like, yeah, I definitely figured that one
saved
out.
the raw. I'm like, all right. But the rocks aren't just rocks.
No.
they're this rock creature, and the creature is called Lore. Yeah.
Yeah, she conjures him up, which is cool.
And he's got this. It's an awesome rock creature,
is.
cool design. But at first, she's kind of scared of it. And at first, it seems like he might be a dick. Lore is, but apparently he pulls out this thing. He's got records on his arm. He's
Which is pretty cool.
Pretty much
He's
a
just
giant
rolling it.
stone record player. And a voice comes on, and do we know who the voice is?
We don't know who the voice is, but it says that Lore does look intimidating, but he's actually a friend.
Yeah, because I was wondering if I was supposed to know the voice. Like, I'm
not
guessing it is.
recognize the
It's
voice.
got to be at some point. It's got to come back. Yeah. But yeah, the voice, or he plays the recording because Lore can't talk because he's been
a
rock. I guess that's just too crazy in this world. Like, take it easy. Rocks can't talk.
Like, let's not be dumb here, okay, people?
Let's not get
This is
wild,
Lore.
all right? Yeah. But yeah. So he talks. He basically says that he's not gonna hurt you. He's gonna go with you on your journey. Now you got this sweet ass rock bodyguard to the 7. Where is she going? The guy says it's going to go on your journey to like the 7 something. I can't remember where they're going, but it's something to save Thra, and that it's imprinted on her now. So this thing's willing to die for
It's a big deal.
Right when that happens, her mom comes down, or is it a mom or her sister comes down?
Yeah, it's Tavra.
The worst.
No, it's not Tavra.
It's not
Excuse
Tavra.
me. It's
It's the shitty sister.
Yes.
The oldest one, the worst
Celadon.
one. Yeah. She is the fucking buzzkill of the family. She comes out. She immediately.
She's goody missed 2 shoes.
I know, but how?
All Madra.
Yeah. Well, she knows she's gonna be all.
She's gonna be the next in line.
But man, how willing can you be to just call your brother or your sisters, your siblings, a traitor? 'Cause she's throwing that word around quite a bit. She's
It's
willing to
very
call her
easy
mom
for
a
her.
traitor.
Yeah.
It's quick, but yeah, she goes down there, calls Brea a traitor. Mm-hmm. And she kind of shows, and she's kind of scared of the rock monster, and they kind of, I guess, the soldiers kind of like try to stab, just ding, ding,
And the
ding.
Lore's kind of just cocks his head sideways. He's like, really?
But eventually, Brea, because the Lore's about to fucking crush these guys, Brea has to come up and say, "Oh, she's my sister."
Calm him down. Yeah. Kind of like the Hulk kind of thing, where she goes and like just calms down Lore so he doesn't kill everyone.
Yeah, and thank God.
Yeah.
That she did, because that thing was about to. Well, of
I
course,
mean,
she could have killed. Yeah,
I kind of wish.
Yeah, that's true.
Lore would have killed her.
Very true, very true. But yeah, and what happens after?
So after that, Rayanne is confronted by the Gurgen's sister, Gurgen's sister, Nyea and Kylan.
Yeah, because Ryan goes to
The Podling.
We got to talk about this. The best part.
Yeah, it is.
Ryan goes up into the Podling village, and I don't know. This might just be another Tuesday, but these guys are going hard.
Yeah. And as far as like fantasy, this was definitely the cantina scene of Dark
too, and I
Crystal.
loved it. I loved it. It was awesome. But yeah, and they're just they're just belligerent drunks.
Oh, dude, the Podlings, they're wilding every
I mean, they're
day.
getting
Wednesday,
fallen
Tuesday,
over.
Thursday. It don't matter,
No,
my
it
guy.
doesn't matter. Every day is fucking a Saturday.
Yeah.
If you're a Podling, my guy.
They get drunk in days that end in Y.
They're drinking beer. I mean, people are fighting. It's not even like there's one bar. It seems like every house
is a bar.
But yeah, they're just falling down in the mud. Ryan's kind of a little freaked out about this, but I'd say join them up, man.
Oh, why
Podlings
not?
know how to fucking... Again, Podlings, they start out as mentally handicapped children that are just not even able to clean themselves.
No.
Then they just take the leap to drunks. It's
Yeah.
a wild lifestyle.
Oh, they love to drink, man. I mean, hey, to
You
each
gotta
their own.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
You gotta
I mean, when
appreciate
you
it.
are nothing but a literal, your whole existence is based on the premise of you being a slave.
That's very true.
You got to be an alcoholic.
That's very true.
I mean, you got to find your vice.
That's true. There's only
It's a
one.
tough world to be a podling.
Absolutely. And why not? Why not party and just live your life to the fullest?
Why not?
But there's not the only Podlings in this little village.
Mm-hmm.
Who else runs into them? It's Gurgen's. Is it Gurgen's sister?
Yeah, Nyea and Kylan.
Yeah, and you know who
Nyea.
plays Nyea?
Nyea. Who is it?
Alicia Vandiker. What's her Tomb Raider?
Oh, no way.
And one of my favorite sci-fi, Ex Machina. Elisa
yes.
Vandiker. Yeah,
Vandiker, yeah, or something like that. I
she
know who you're
plays.
talking
She
about.
voices. Yeah, and that's Gurgen's sister. Yeah, and
Man, I got to tell you, they got a lot of high names
Everyone want to be part of this.
It's a great cast list, man.
Yeah.
It's a really great cast list.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. It's
Well,
super
and you know
cool.
there's 2 Game of Thrones ladies, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I know.
Yeah, we have Natalie Dormer, which
Yep.
is the redhead beauty. And then we have what's her name?
I think it's just Natalie.
Yeah, it's Natalie as well, Emmanuel.
Natalie Emanuel, who plays, who
The slave.
lived
The
for
slave owner.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't a slave.
Not
very
slave
long.
owner, but the slave
not
leader.
slave
Yeah,
owner.
no.
She was a slave.
She was basically whatever.
She gets killed.
Daenerys'
Spoiler alert: if you
right-hand
haven't watched it,
woman.
she gets killed at the very end.
She definitely does. She gets beheaded.
Brutal.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. But she was great in it.
She was.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of British actors. Again, British people. You know,
They're crushing these
there's
days.
11 of them, and they all work together.
And they get cast in everything.
Yeah, they do.
They're really dominating the American market. We got to hand it to them. They sure do know how to act over there.
Hats off to them. It's their revenge. We won the war.
It is.
Now they're taking our goddamn jobs.
And right after Rianne is confronted by them, Brea intervenes, and then they all decide to dream fast to figure out who's telling the truth.
Yeah. Now Bray is down there at the fucking
Bray is
village
there, too.
also. She comes in. And not only Brea, but fucking Ryan's dad pops in.
I know, but he
was
does
going
it.
up there.
Yeah, he does it after they're dream fasting because he's smart. So he gets there after they're all dream fasting and focusing, and then he comes in and touches as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So they don't
he's
even
not
know
risking
he's
that
there.
brain, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he died. Apparently, everyone just knew this was a spot to meet at. I don't know
I
how
don't know.
they deduct that, but yeah, they got there, and eventually they do dream fast, and eventually they see that Ryan is not a liar. Mm-hmm. And this
And
we kind of
dad
see.
apologizes. He said, "I should have trusted
And I
you."
like when they're done dream fasting, it pans out because it goes in and shows them, and they're all just crying, they're weeping. Like, oh my god, what an emotional
like they just
roller
watched
coaster.
the saddest movie of all
Just
time.
drenched in tears. But yeah, and this is kind of the beginning of what we see as kind of a rebellion. It looks like to me, at
Yes.
least. I saw that's
Definitely.
you got a good general. You got Ryan's dad, who's been Lagarde forever. Gerling's sister, she's kind of a badass. She's got cool dreads and whatnot.
She does.
Whoever her sidekick
Boyfriend,
is.
yeah, or side piece.
He doesn't do
Kylan.
much. He doesn't do.
He's all right.
He's
I
more of
guess.
the fire builder, because even when they go and rescue Ryan later on, he's literally just at the camp building fire. That's in the next episode.
Yeah.
But
And Rianne and his father start running away because they're trying to get away from the Skeksis now.
oh yeah,
So they do the dream fast, and now they're running because they're trying to get away. But who's hot on their heels?
the fucking hunter.
Whew.
And my God, you thought
This
this
was-
guy moved good on the ground?
You just wait till it's raining, and you give him a few trees.
He's a gymnastics.
He's superstar.
Get the guy the golden
Went to
medal.
the Olympics.
It was very cool though. He
was
kind of moved
awesome.
around like if I would assume like if a rat was like anamorphic and like, but he just spin around. He's crawling on the tree. It was very cool.
It was cool,
It was
creepy,
done.
and
It was
like
well done.
you really felt like there was no hope.
You really felt like he was hunting you.
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, like you can't run from this guy.
No, there's no
I
way.
see that guy doing fucking quadruple axle spins in the air. I'm giving up.
He's got knives and all these other things he's throwing at you. Just make it quick. How about
But Ryan and his dad, they used to hunt fizz gigs. Fizz gigs are those little tiny
Those
balls
little
that you
cute
don't
little
want to
fur
fuck with
balls.
either.
No.
They were horribly
pretty vicious
mean.
themselves.
Yeah. But so they have a plan to take out Hunter. And they kind of do that plan, I guess.
Kind of.
It doesn't work out. I don't know what.
does not.
I really don't understand what the plan was, to be honest with
I
you.
don't know. But nonetheless, Rianne and the father. So Rianne's sitting there, and they're right next to those puddle of worms, whatever those things were.
Is it? Yeah, because earlier on, Deet,
Earlier in the episode, yeah.
Deet almost went into. They're like gobbler pits. I'm pretty sure they're
Right.
called.
Yep.
Yeah, and they just.
And Hub pulled her back. And was
Yeah.
like, no.
that was
those are bad.
foreshadowing that they just gobble things.
They
They're
just eat 'em.
Basically the Sarlacc pit.
Exactly. It's like this version of the Sarlacc
Yeah,
pit.
and again, bounty hunters' kryptonite is any kind of pit that eats you, because we learned from this. Why can't they stay away from holes?
Except in this scenario,
Yeah,
it
but he
actually
should
worked
have.
out.
He should
Yeah,
have, to be
definitely
honest
should
with
have
you.
done, yeah.
I think even he thought that he was going to be
He
done.
was done, yeah.
But yeah, so eventually Rand ends up fighting the hunter just by himself. They end up getting separated, and that gobble pit or whatever it is behind Rand, and we get a cool little sword fight. Now again, this is like the most action that we have,
and it looks really good. It doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah.
It's a puppet. They're puppets.
I know. There's a guy on the other end with his hand with a stick controlling that hand, and it looks amazing. I don't know. I really honestly don't know. I would love to see the behind the scenes making.
Oh, dude, a documentary.
You know how they did the
behind-the-scenes
Game of
work?
Thrones documentary after
Yes.
they need to do a behind the scenes for the Dark Crystal.
I totally agree
definitely
with that.
I would love to see the puppeteers, the guys working the fucking the suits and everything. But yeah, they fight a little bit. Rand kind of holds his own.
He does.
Then he gets slapped. The shit slapped out of him.
Slapped around, yeah, a little bit.
And but Rand's father, man, comes flying out of nowhere.
Boom, head kick. Swings off the vine. Yeah.
Takes a big chunk out of the hunter. Takes his mask off. Yep. And but then little do we know that the hunter is actually General fucking Grievous.
He has like two extra
Four
hands.
arms.
Yeah. 4 arms emerge.
4
pretty
swords.
terrifying.
It was awesome. It was super cool, man. And I swear I was looking for it, and I could not tell if those arms were CGI. I don't think they were CGI.
No, they weren't. They were actually part of the puppet.
Must have been multiple guys just running that one puppet. Yes. I'm guessing at least 3 to run that one puppet and to choreograph that in the fight scene. It looked amazing.
Make it look as good as it did is really just like I just hope people are watching this show. I hope this is like one of the most watched shows on Netflix because it deserves it.
It deserves it. Yeah,
it's so freaking good, man.
Oh, absolutely. But they eventually get their ass kicked also because you're not going to beat this guy. For one, he can kill anything. He has 4 arms. Do all the Skeksis have 4 arms?
Yeah, they do. Man. Yep. Because remember in the original film when the Chamberlain gets stripped, he has those other 2 arms?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot. How did the Mystics only get 3?
It kind of sucks for them, doesn't it? Yeah.
How'd they get
they got short end
gypped out of that 25% of those arms?
But if you think about it, with the Gelfling and the fact that the Mystics and the Skeksis are one, and you look at the 7 clans of the Gelfling, maybe it comes into play. 4 arms for the Skeksis.
7 arms.
3 arms for the Mystics come together as one is 7 arms.
Could be
7
clans.
7.
Boom. Jesus Christ.
I was thinking I won the lottery.
Oh,
no. Or I won the whatever. What are those things
called?
might
mean something.
Slot machines.
Slot machine. Yeah. There we go. But so the hunter's right about to kill Ryan. Yeah. Because the hunter doesn't really care about Rand's dad.
No,
to be honest with you, he's right about to kill him. But Rand's dad again. These guys can jump too. They can. My God.
For being small little Gelfling, they've got
Hops.
good verts.
Oh, absolutely. They got ups.
I would say Rand's dad went to the Columbine at one point, and I'm talking about the NFL Columbine, folks. Yeah. He put up impressive numbers there.
Oh, absolutely. I do. His 40 time must have been amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, the 5-on-5, the Gelfling YMCA must be something to marvel at.
Be a fun spectacle to watch.
Yeah, but so he's Ryan's about to kill, and Ryan's dad, takes the ultimate sacrifice, tackles Hunter into the gobble pit, and they're getting eaten up. But the hunter says, I'm taking you
with me. And it was cool, too, because he just holds on to...
yeah, Hunter, badass, man.
Pretty cool.
That guy is badass. I keep comparing it to all these other fantasy and sci-fi things, but he is just the Boba Fett of this world. He's even got the mask. But yeah, man, and you think Ryan, of course, he's crying a lot. He's very sad. Because the pit just ate his dad. Mm. And you think all is it's kind of good and kind of bad.
Because the hunter's dead, his dad's dead. I mean, that sucks. But at least the hunter's dead. At least he's not going to kill you, right?
Well, hold on. Hold up. Yeah. Hunter cannot fucking die. He runs out of that pit, grabs Ryan.
On the fly, too. I mean, and this dude is moving.
Yeah.
And he just grabs him and runs.
And I like when it shows him because it looks like he's been real bitten up and eaten up. Yeah, and he scrolls up the tree, man. And he
just grabs him by the back of his leg and he's just flailing.
I think he just hooks him right onto his belt.
Yeah, he's got like a Gelfling latch.
I think he did, man, because he just hooks him on and runs right up the tree. Yeah, and that's how we end
Episode 4.
Epi 4.
And Deet's terrified, Hup's terrified, because they just witnessed that.
Yeah, they were watching the whole thing, not doing a lot.
No, I mean, but what can you do against the hunter? In all fairness,
That's very true. Very true. Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, they see the whole thing. So now Ryan is captured by the hunter.
Yep, and that's the end of episode 4.
That's how we end.
Now we're into episode 5, Cash.
Oh, absolutely.
And we start this episode with Ryan hung upside down. He's woken up. He's terrified.
Oh yeah.
And obviously he realizes that the hunter has captured him.
And a lot goes down in episode 5, man.
I know, we got a lot to talk about here.
A lot is covered in episode 5. Yeah, he's being, I guess, dried out by the hunter. Well, the hunter's right
the
about.
hunter wants his tongue as a
He's
trophy.
being prepared for his trophy, and he shows his belt of trophies too. He's got all kinds of heads and whatnot, and of all the different things he's killed. But who's there to ruin his kill?
Of course, the Chamberlain shows up just in time.
You hear that noise?
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Where the fuck did you come from? No.
Not Chamberlain.
This guy's just wandering around.
Yeah, he's everywhere, man.
He is.
He has great mobility.
Definitely.
But yeah, and Chamberlain explains that you can't kill him.
This is my trophy. Let me have my trophy first, and then I'll give you back your trophy.
Yep.
But Chamberlain needs his trophy first.
Well, Chamberlain needs Ryan to admit to killing Marin. So, and then because that's going to make the Chamberlain real good. And then Chamberlain's going to get the spot back as number 2. And the hunter's not happy about this.
No.
He wants his fucking kill. Eventually, Chamberlain does convince him, and he storms off angrily. But and the Chamberlain takes back Ryan, throws him into the stagecoach or whatever, the carriage, yeah. And we get a great scene between her and Ryan.
Which is a little later on.
Her, or whatever she is.
Because they throw him into the carriage, and then we switch over real quick to Al-Madra. The Al-Madra of the Gelfling, who finds one of the Landstriders who have purple eyes.
Yeah, one of the soldier brings her down to see the Landstriders, and he said that 80 of them were poisoned or whatever. And the fucking guy's right about to kill the thing. He's like, well, got to send her back to Thraw.
Yeah.
The lady's like, whoa, take it easy.
Oh, let the world decide. Let the planet decide when this beast deserves to die. Let's take it easy.
Yeah, put that guy on leave. Jesus. He's supposed to be taking care of these animals.
This guy might have lost it a little bit. Is this a slaughterhouse? This guy's just completely desensitized to these animals. This is a problem.
One Landstrider comes with a limp. Well, time to go.
Put her down. Someone go get me the shotgun.
Brutal. But
there's just red ferns grown everywhere. You're like, what the?
I know.
How many Landstriders has this man put down?
Yeah, but yeah, and she El-Madra lets the Landstrider just take off, which is probably, and I'd say wasn't because they're like have rabies. They're just gonna go attack a family or something. Whatever. I guess she's not the greatest leader. But now the Al-Madra is starting to see with her own eyes
what's going on.
Yeah,
and the darkening that's taking place. I know. God, she was annoying in the first 2 episodes.
Had to be on your doorstep before you could finally believe your own goddamn kid. Yeah. So, but she sees it and she says, "Oh, well, you can't deny what your eyes see."
Yep.
And then a guy comes, another fucking soldier. He's like, "The Skeksis are in your office."
Yeah, and they demand your presence right away. Yep. And
probably
then
Princess,
not good. Yeah, no, probably not good. Then Princess Breya, Kylan, and Nyea go inside the Emperor's castle, where it's revealed he uses the crystal for like a power source for his cane.
Yeah, he's got like a mini dark crystal going on.
Yeah, mini dark crystal inside of his...
Yeah, the Emperor is like sucking... it almost looks like he's sucking like the darkness out of the crystal or something to use it into his cane. Yeah.
Which I loved, because if you pay attention closely to that, you remember the original 1982 when the Emperor's on his deathbed, and we only get one scene with the Emperor on his deathbed.
Yeah.
But if you remember, Chamberlain reaches for the cane.
I know,
and
I
goes,
wonder...
Come on! I am Emperor!
Yeah.
Well,
I wonder what it ends up doing. I wonder what the power has.
The power ends up being in the cane.
I wonder
what
it
does,
yeah.
I like how they put that in there, because that's just such a small thing in the original film, and they're making it a big deal in this. And I really feel like it'll come into play later on in this season.
And we talk about how shitty Gelflings are at sneaking around. They are
the worst.
They're dripping liquids out of them. They're just getting dropped onto
They're making noises.
They're making their loud as hell for little tiny people.
Frustrating.
Yeah, it's because they're watching the fucking Emperor, and of course she kicks over like a boulder, and he immediately knows. Oh my god, he says something like "secret eyes." or
Secret
something.
eyes, yeah. It's just like, really? Like,
Yeah.
these Gelfling just suck.
They do suck at
just
almost everything.
suck.
It's a miracle they've lived this long.
Yeah, they almost deserve to die at this point.
But yeah, and that was a really cool scene. I
was.
was forgetting about it because he's got power in the cane, and it also shows that he's using probably a little more power than everyone else is. So it's gonna make the other Skeksis maybe because he's doing it in secret. He's not going around telling anyone about
No.
it.
And then we
But,
get a really cool scene between Hup and Deet.
We do, and again,
I like
this just
this one.
solidifies that Hup is just the best character
Yeah.
ever. Yeah,
Because Hup, for once, is kind of feeling like he doesn't belong, kind of like he's not worthy of it.
yeah,
And Deet tells him, well, hold on now. You've fought for my honor. You fought for the bravery. You fight for your people. Mm-hmm. You're not going there to become a paladin. You already are a paladin.
And Hup throws down a spoon too, and he says it's stupid spoon. He says it's not even a real sword. He says it in his little Hup language, his podling language. And of course, it's very sad. You're right, and it is a very good moment. And she gives him the sword, and she's like, "You're already a paladin, my guy." And Hup says, she asks, or Deet asks why Hup is scared, and Hup says he's not scared for him because we know Hup's not scared.
No, he's not scared of shit.
Hup is scared for Deet.
Yeah.
Because Hup loves Deet, man. He's a good guy.
You ever think he's going to make the move?
I just don't think so, man.
I don't think
just
it's in the
we live
cards.
two
I don't think
different
it's in the
worlds.
stars, man.
I think maybe
It'll
his
just
love is a little
never
more
happen.
simpler than that. Than having maybe a relationship.
Maybe Rianne and Deet, though. I do see that. Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
meet up together and they kind of got that little flare going.
And then
just a
they're
little
gonna
bit.
end up having, or yeah, I don't know, man. Because
I know. 'Cause
who
we
is-
also have
who's
Brea.
Kira's mom, and who's the main? What's his name in Dark Crystal 1982?
Oh, I forget the other one. The two Gelfling names.
The main character,
Yes, I
literally the protagonist. I can't believe we can't remember his name. We're looking up. We're
We're trying
going
to
up to
find
our fact AI.
You know what's hilarious too is wow.
You read-
Jen.
God, yeah, took you that
Jen,
long.
a young Gelfling taken by
Jen,
the
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, who is Jin's parents?
I don't know.
It's gotta be someone special.
It's got to be the two. It's got to be the Gelflings that we're following. That would make the
I
most
know,
sense.
but they have to
right?
be two separate pairs, because they're not brother and sister or anything. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of secrecy. We don't know what's what or how it's really connected to the 1982 version quite yet. But yeah, so
And then sorry.
eventually they get the Hup gives a pep talk.
Right.
And they said, let's move on. Hup gets his spoon back, thank God. And Hup is ready to fucking forge forward,
Yep.
as any good soldier.
And then we get because earlier, the last episode 4, the Emperor comes in, as we talked about earlier, talks to Skektek and asks how many people they need, right? And he says 50 for immortality. So now the Skeksis are going around and they go to the Almadra and they ask for the 7 most impressive soldiers to come help them fight from each clan.
And it's general and
yeah, it's I don't know the other one.
I can't remember. It's not the collector, but he's like the most level-headed of
Yeah,
all.
of all of them, absolutely. He's like the wisest.
I don't even know why they
Well, and
send
he's
the
kinda
general
like
there.
He's kind of like the prophet too, because when they were punishing Skektek, he was the guy delivering the.
He is.
Peeper
You're
Beetle.
right, and I can't. He's like the role keeper, pretty much, or something
Yes.
like that. That's all he. But you're right, and he even in the 1982 version,
Mm-hmm.
he's the one I think who yells out "trial by rock," whatever. So he's the good. Yeah, I mean he's the good one, but I mean he's the one you want to send out. You don't want the general who's just.
Gonna probably just kill a Gelfling for fun.
Well, you
Off
can't
with
even
his
send him into the room. He doesn't know how to act around people. Remember, he's like eating the chandelier.
Yeah,
He's-
what are you doing, you psycho? The guy's not all there. He's not all there in the head.
No, but yeah, and they tell them that there's a war happening.
With the spitters,
Yeah, and that they're
the spider people.
they're coming back because apparently there was a war that happened a long time
Yes.
ago. But of course, after this scene, you're thinking, was there really a war?
Probably not. No.
Or is it-
because, and then we see that in the first 2 episodes as well, too, because that spitter never tried to kill the Gelfling
No.
when it was in. So you got to ask your question, were they really that evil, or was it the Skeksis who were lying?
Exactly.
Who
and that
probably enslaved them just like they're enslaving the Gelfling.
Yeah, and that every now and then the Skeksis have to invent a war because right now what's going on in Thra is rebellion is in the air. Then the Skeksis know that there's talk of rebellion because of the Gelfling because normally it's 100% rule. Everyone just follows the Skeksis, but now people are starting to question. So it makes you think every once in a while do they just invent a war just to take out a couple of people? Because what their whole plan is, the general and whoever the other guy is, the other Skeksis, tells El Madra that they need 7 warriors to come and fight alongside. That's what they say.
Alongside the Skeksis. But they also say, but we can't promise they will return.
Yeah.
Because the war is so severe.
And they need 7 from each clan. Man, 7 from each clan. That's 7.
That's 49.
49.
They need one other one. So maybe they're just banking on Gurjin. Maybe they're just going to take Gurjin as the 50th.
But, so they, in the El Madra, she's like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, take everyone. She's like, we're good. Yeah, do whatever you... Even though she brings up that she calls it the Blight, which is basically just a disease across the land. Mm-hmm. And the general yells at her, flies off the handle. Again, red flag. If you mention something and the guy immediately gets super defensive about it...
He's probably guilty.
Of whatever you're saying, yeah. And, and the general yells at her and says there is no darkening and whatnot. And then he eats another crystal, which...
The blue one.
Is like the symbolism of their entire tribe that he's eating.
The yellow one... Terrible.
Didn't like.
The blue one?
Starting
Much
to grow
better.
on him.
Yeah, he's starting to like him a little better.
And the other Skeksis is even like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And when you have a Skeksis look at you like that, that's when you know you're out of line.
Yeah, exactly.
Because those guys will eat anything. They'll do anything.
They'll
fart right in front of you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they're gross. They're disgusting. Vile creatures.
Man, when I watched the last 2 episodes with subtitles on, because my goddamn neighbor was fucking mowing the lawn. But during that dining
I always watch
scene,
with subtitles.
Oh, do you? During that dining
always.
scene, it would just be fart noise.
Fart noise. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they're just in there ripping ass.
They don't care. They eat where they shit.
You think so? They're just shitting.
Oh, I guarantee they shit themselves every day, Skeksis.
Well, they got podlings to wipe them down.
Exactly.
Just to hose them down.
I know. You remember in the dining scene, the one guy's choking, the podling saves him, and then he's like, bruh, and he smacks him.
Saves his life.
Knocks him over. It's
yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's brutal life for a podling. Unless you're in the forest getting drunk all the time, then it's fucking awesome.
That's right. That's very true. So then we move on to Chamberlain and Rianne, and they're in the carriage at this point. And Chamberlain talks about the normal order of life, and that the Skeksis aren't evil; it's just natural.
That everything eats something.
Kills something.
Everything kills something to exist.
To exist, yeah. Which
is something.
I really enjoyed this because you really get to understand how the Skeksis think about Gelfling and how they think about all living creatures.
Oh, yeah.
They're above them.
Oh, absolutely.
In every sense of the word. They do not care.
But she does it in a way where she just flips it. Rand's just eating this shit up.
He is.
Okay.
He's
okay.
Like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's like, all right.
You're right. I will kill all my people. Yeah. Yeah, she somehow convinces. Yeah, she says that it's natural and that it happens. And she basically just tells him everything. That they have to use it to prolong their life and whatnot. And that death prolongs their life. And she basically says that if you don't come out and say you killed Mara, there'll be a war and all Gelflings will die. Just suckering him into it.
And we're kind of jumping to this point, but we can just do it right now because we're talking about them specifically. I mean, Chamberlain at one point in this episode even pulls the carriage over and says, "We'll go."
Oh, she's playing mind games.
Yes.
She's playing 8D chess. Again, she's 9 steps ahead.
Well, because she
pulls a hopper.
She does, yeah, with the Russian.
Alexis.
Alexis,
yeah.
yes.
Remember, he says, get the fuck out.
Get out, yeah. And that actually worked. I didn't think it was going to work, but that one did in Stranger Things.
That one was very more real, and you don't want to go back to Russia.
Real,
you don't want to go back to Russia, no. Not even you're from Russia. You don't want to go there.
But Chamberlain constantly talks about Rianne and how he always runs away. That he's a coward, essentially. Yeah. And Chamberlain goes, well, Go ahead, run away again, Rianne. But just remember, when you run away and this rebellion starts, every Gelfling will die, and that will be on your shoulders.
Because you ran again.
Again. And so Rianne inevitably decides to stay in the carriage. Which I thought that was a good scene. I really liked the way that
it's a great
Chamberlain
scene,
always twists it around.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They flip it on you.
Yep.
Any good politician can do that.
Absolutely.
But and they and he says, "All right, I'll go. I'll admit to killing Mira." And this is after fucking Chamberlain drank what was left of Mira.
Of the essence right in front of him, which was dark as
And that was right after
fuck.
his dad just died. It was dark. It was
Because
drinking her, what was left of her.
And he's just taunting Rianne.
And Mara, she
tastes so good.
And
I'm
Chamberlain
like,
goes, and then at the very end, she goes back to Thra. And she throws down the vial.
And then crushes the vial. That's brutal, man. This show gets fucking dark sometimes.
It does, absolutely.
Any other circumstance, that would be disgusting. It'd be like someone drinking someone else's like blood, or like blending like your arm up in a blender and then drinking it and being like, back to the earth, back to 6 feet under. Very, very dark. But anyway, so we move from here.
Yeah. They go on to the carriage, and the carriage moves on and goes back to, or it's on its way back to the Crystal Palace, right?
Well, right before this, we gotta go back to Agra real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, Agra's trying to make Thra sing. Remember? Because she says she can't hear Thra.
She's pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
All her tricks,
Trick.
everything she's got up her sleeve.
Nothing's working.
It ain't working. The baby's all tapped out. She ain't singing.
No, she's getting tired, and she notices this little creature. One of the little creatures and she grabs it and she looks at it and she sees the purple eyes.
Yeah, this little gremlin guy is evil. He's pissed off or something.
And that's when she realizes that the darkening has taken over creatures in general, and she prays, or she asks the tree, please bring this creature back to life. I know this is my fault. I know I've turned my eye away from Thra, but please, would you please just save this creature?
Yep.
And the tree reaches out and it heals the little creature. And that's when Agra has a self-realization and goes, oh, maybe it's not me who needs to talk. Maybe I just need to sit here with an old friend and listen.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when she sits there and listens to the tree of life.
Exactly. And she finally hears it again for the first time.
Yes, she hears the song of Thra.
The song of the crystal, yep. And that's all she needed to do, man.
Yep.
She can't demand the song.
No.
Thra just don't sing for no one. Yeah, just listen. Take its time with it.
I mean, you could even take that message and go right to church with that, because I've heard that message being preached in church as well. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Don't just talk. You got to listen to.
But
good word.
But yeah, and at this point, Gurjin has been broken out. We didn't bring that up.
Right, we didn't bring that up. We just kind of glanced over.
We glanced over.
But
Gurjin did break out when they were in
there with like the Emperor.
The Emperor,
stuff,
when they were
right?
spying on the Emperor, when he dipped his
cane in the dark crystal.
Yeah, they broke Gurjin out, so now Gurjin's free. And again, Gurjin's the best friend of all time, even though Ryan left him in there.
Forgot about him. Literally forgot his name. Forgot of his existence, but Gurjin's still like, yeah, you're my buddy, you're my bro.
And Gurjin doesn't even get time to recoup. He doesn't get a day off. No. He goes straight from Crystal Castle.
His essence was almost completely drained from his body.
Yeah, he's about 9% Gelfling left, and he's running on empty. But he's like, I gotta go get my bro.
Say my friend.
He's like, my friend would never leave me, and I would never leave him.
He is as loyal as can be, and I know that man would do the exact same for me. Meanwhile, Rianne's like, whew, dodged the bullet there.
He's just chilling, drinking tea in the fucking Chamberlain
hanging out with
stagecoach.
Chamberlain, getting manipulated.
Gurjin's like, we've been friends for life, and he would never. And all the other Gelflings are like, yeah,
let's go get him. No one wants to bring it up. It's like the awkward thing in the room.
But Gurjin does, and he's kick ass, man.
He is.
They go and they jump onto the moving carriage
of the Chamberlain,
and they're ready to break out fucking Ryan. It's a classic prison break.
It is.
They kind of break him out. They
Not without a fight from the Chamberlain.
They pull him up through the window or whatever, and he's free, and they're on top. Yeah, and the Chamberlain takes a big sword out. Which he wasn't really thinking, was she stabbed Ryan? Or, I mean, she's done.
It's all done. Yeah. It's over.
But eventually they end up taking the wheels off the stagecoach, and it's a cool scene because that stagecoach flips.
I know, and Chamberlain's pretty
I was
tough.
hoping it was gonna fuck her up or do something to
Not even at all. Not even a scratch.
No, she just gets out there and yells, running on pure hate at this
Come
point.
back, Gelfling.
But now they got sweet fucking big wheel motorcycles they're riding on, or whatever those things are.
Those things are dope.
But yeah, and Ryan, Gurjin, and is it Naya?
Kylan,
and they all meet back up at the fire, and they're free.
Yep.
Of course, Ryan's a little upset still that his dad's died. He's got a lot to.
He's got to get over it, though. We got shit to do, so.
Yeah, absolutely got to.
And then Deet tries to sneak into the castle to warn all Madra.
Well, Deet finally arrives. Deep and Hup finally arrive at the village. I can't remember the name of the village. It's High Air. H-A, but
H-A hyphen A-R. Yeah.
But yeah, they arrive and there's kind of a little scene where she's all dirty and disgusting because they've been walking, and the Hub just straight up steals 5-finger discount, baby.
Yep, he's good at it.
This guy what is his background, man? Is he just the world's most renowned criminal?
I think so. I think he knows his way around.
Why Deed's trying to think, like, how am I going to, I got to take a shower.
I know, she's so simplistic with
running
everything.
around stealing from everyone.
And he steals the Vapra's clothing, which is like a high-up Gelfling.
And I love when he's like, yeah, we got to go. We got to get the fuck out of here. And when she grabs him, they just take off. Yeah. It's a classic.
And then she throws on the garb. But it's all like disheveled. It's not even worn right because she doesn't know how to wear Vapra clothing because she's never been one. She's been a grot.
And at the same time, it's kind of Hup is dressing. He's like throwing it on her. But there's a great moment between her and Hup when Hup's like, Deet's always beautiful.
Aw, so sweet. You don't have a fucking chance, though, pal.
No, not when Ryan's in the game.
No,
you gotta take that guy out. You gotta take that guy out.
A much more attractive looking Gelfling than that ugly ass podling. So sorry.
But does he have the heart? Does he have the heart? So
far, I think Hup's the better guy, but the better guy never wins. So
that's true.
You just got to deal with it. That's life.
That's so true. So true.
And so Deet meets up. And tries to go and see the Almadra, but Tavra intervenes and runs into them first and asks to receive the message, right? Because Tavra realizes that she's not actually a Vapra. So she's like, hey, you're not even one of us.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm a Groton.
Yeah.
And then she's like, but I have a message because I had a vision. And then Tavra's like, okay, well, just tell me the message.
She wants to dream fast. Yeah.
Right.
Is it Tavra or is it... the other sister.
Whoops, you're right. It's
Selden, right?
It's Celadon.
Celadon, yeah.
Celadon,
yeah. Yeah, it's not Tavra. Tavra's a good one.
Tavra's a good one, yes.
Yeah. Celadon's the shitty one that's just always everywhere and always the one to intercept every fucking message. Yeah, and she's like, go ahead, tell me. And they, and then eventually Almadra does come in when she's coming, and they all are going to dream fast. So she can show everyone what's going on. And at the same time, who else is dream fasting?
All the other Gelflings?
Pretty much everyone else in the story,
else.
Yeah.
It's very convenient. And Agra kind of summons all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I guess, what do they call it? It's not dream, or it's like the dream plane or something. It's like the dream realm or something. Or I guess if you get enough Gelflings to dream fast together and they're connected in some way, you get sucked into this metaphysical world. So their bodies are left behind, but they're in this other world. And who's there but Agra?
Yep.
Agra's there to yell at them, as usual.
Pretty much.
Well,
she likes to scold people.
She's actually pretty fucking happy when they first meet her. Man, she's dancing.
Yeah, that's right.
She's hopping around. She's feeling like she's 900 years old again. Yeah. But
900 thrine old.
900 thrine. But yeah, and they dream fast, and Agra pretty much tells the group that she pretty much says, you guys gotta save the crystal.
Or you're all gonna die.
Yeah, but
and not just you, but the entire Thra will die.
And she shows them she exposes each and every one of them, because she shows them all their backgrounds and what they've done, and they're all They all got some skeletons in those closets.
Yeah, I would say so. Say a few of them.
I'm sure
And,
this time Gurgen's probably thinking, "Oh, he did leave me. This is this
like,
asshole. What the
awkward.
fuck?
I just
I came
rescued
back
him."
from this guy. Now I'm showing everything."
Actually, fuck this
Ryan's
guy.
probably like, "Oh God, they're gonna show me bailing twice, leaving.
Just don't show that little tidbit.
Don't show me
Agra.
running constantly."
He's like, I'm kind of a coward. That's what I do. I run.
Oh, it's the dream space.
It is.
Dream
space. Yeah.
That's what the and she takes the opportunity to pretty much rat them out, and tells them pretty much about what the Skirxes are doing and everything, and what their goal is. And Augur leaves them with 2 tasks. Ryan must join Brea and Deet in Hyar, and Marion must unite.
Harar.
Harar.
Harar. That's what it is. Yep.
And Marion must unite the Gelfling clans.
Yep.
It's a lot to do.
It's a tall order.
Honestly,
It's not an easy
Ryan joining Bray and Deet seems like an easier task than Marion having to unite all 7 clans. When the
who
7
are all happen to be extremely racist.
who could
against
not
their own
hate
people.
more of the different clans. Yeah, that's a tough. Basically, she has to have all 7 clans agree to civil rights.
Civil rights movement. That's
in
what
like
I
a
was
day. While the rest of them just have to join up. That's the hardest thing to do. Like, here's this task. Do this impossible thing, and you guys just meet up somewhere.
Just go meet up. You have to start a
find an IHOP or something and meet up.
Yeah.
While you have to unite all 7 clans who just
hate each
physically
other.
hate each other. Can't stand to even be in the same room as each other.
Yeah, not even the sight.
And Marion's like, "Oh, okay, I guess."
I mean,
and
I guess I'll take this on.
she begins her task by standing up to the Skeksis lords. Because, man, the Skeksis are there.
Yep.
They're all there. They're coming out of the dream space. They're all a little high. They're all a little... They're feeling good, you know? They all kind of got a task now. And but the Skeksis aren't happy about it. And fucking Celine slid on. She's obviously being a bitch also. She leaves the fucking dream space. Augur kind of kicks her out.
Mm-hmm.
That
Because
was
she says that
cold-blooded.
they're all traitors.
Yeah, and
She
Augur's
says that
like,
in the dream
"What the
fast.
fuck?"
Yeah,
and
she's like,
Augur's
"What is your problem, you
She's
little
not right
Gelfling
for
asshole?"
this job. Yeah. Boots are out of the dream space, which is never fun to happen. I mean, it doesn't feel good, obviously.
But it gives her the advantage because she runs off to the Skeksis right away.
And the paladins. Yeah, and she tells them that these are all traitors. Remember, it's a good scene. Her and the Skeksis kind of get together and talk, and they're talking about how she's got to be in charge and whatnot, and how she's gonna be the Alnamadra.
Yep.
But the mom comes in, the real Alnamadra. She's pissed. She just
She
saw
finally
everything.
she finally stands up for herself
Yeah.
and says, I'm done being your political poise. I'm done just for you guys giving me these shiny little gifts. I'm tired of taking orders from you, Skeksis. And what does a general do? He will have none of this fuckery.
Like, what are you? I know his process is like, what is she saying? I can't even
couldn't even
process what's
that.
happening right now. Is she talking to me? And he just cuts her down.
He literally cuts her down, yeah.
Cuts her down to size for sure. Takes the big blade out. And we get our first fucking actual death by
Skeksis.
by weapon, really.
Yeah.
And it's brutal. Kind of shows some blood. It's a little pinkish
Mm-hmm.
blood, but it kind of looks like the crystal juice or whatever. Maybe that's what's running through him. But yeah, it kills the mom
Yeah, and then they give us...
in front of all the daughters.
Yep.
All 3 of them.
all 3 of them. And then they give Celadon the new Almadra spot, and then she gives the order to the paladins to arrest Brea and Hup.
Yes, she blames Blaria rather than blaming the Skeksis. And even though the sister knows, she saw the crystal, or whether she saw that they were evil.
Yep.
The sister sucks, man.
Yeah, she's an ass.
a fucking buzzkill. And
That's where it ends.
yeah, man. Skekval is the name of it.
Skekval.
Skekval is the name
Okay.
of the other one, the level-headed one.
Yep.
But yeah, and Almadra and her are and,
Is it Skekval or Skekvul?
Skekval. Yeah, I don't
okay.
know. But they imprison Brea, Deet, and Hup, and they're taken by the guards and they're gonna give them to the Skeksis,
Yes.
which is not a
Because
good
the
time.
Skeksis ask her immediately. They go, we'll just take the prisoners off your hands,
Yeah.
right? And she goes, yes. As she's crying.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Brutal. And you don't want to be in the Crystal Palace. Nope. You don't want to be a gelfling in the Crystal Palace.
And we legitimately don't know where it goes after this.
We have no idea.
Nope.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But I'll find out probably in the next 2 days. Because I'm definitely going to watch
it,
6, 7, and 8 right away.
Heating.
It really is.
It's heating up, man.
We're exactly halfway through this season now.
We are.
Episode 5.
And it's amazing so far.
It's been a great series.
I love it, man.
I mean, we're able to just talk about it right now. We got through it pretty fast, and we talked about it an hour and a half already. So.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's a great show.
That was 3 episodes. Yeah, that was great, man. I'm going to be sad when
this is over. I know. I really hope we get like a season 2 or some sort of other, because this is almost like a world building, in my opinion anyway. This is like a world building lore kind of like show where you could do so much. There's so many different storylines you could go down. I love the puppeteer work in this so far. I love the voice acting.
We don't know how it
ends.
ends.
Voice acting is awesome.
So it may end open-ended.
Right,
so
that's very true.
Maybe
we could get a second
Maybe
season.
they intended for a second season. Maybe this rebellion goes on a few. I mean, it is a rebellion, so it takes some time. What we know from Star Wars, man.
Rebellions take a while.
Rebellions take a while, and they usually don't do anything.
No.
They're usually getting their ass kicked 98% of the time. They're getting their ass kicked. But yeah, I look forward to it. Episode 6 is
6 through 8 will be next week, next Tuesday. So keep that in your thoughts. Be sure to watch 6 through 8.
Keep us in your thoughts.
Yeah, keep us in your
thoughts and prayers.
We're going through a lot. Have some more legal battles.
Yeah,
we just can never.
Course.
Luckily, we got the best lawyers in the game. I gotta say,
we do. We do.
Thank you, Trump's lawyers. Remember,
one foot ahead, 2 steps back. Yeah. It's an uphill battle for sure.
Well, so that concludes our episode 3 through 5 recap of The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance on Netflix. If you guys are watching on YouTube, be sure to like this video, comment below, and subscribe to our channel. And be sure to hit the little bell notification, get all the latest notifications. We post 5 days a week on YouTube. We have anywhere from like 5 to 8 videos come out a week on this channel, so we keep it very active. If you would like to know our podcast in audio format, you can find that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. We have social media pages. We have a Twitter page, Seen It Podcast. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash. Instagram is Have You Seen It? Facebook, type in Have You Seen It? Have You Seen It Podcast. You should be able to find us where we post daily memes and other cool things you can check out. So, I believe that's it. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Adios.